If you've ever wondered when the right time to get married is, whether in your 20s, 30s, or 40s, this video is for you. We're breaking down the pros and cons of tying the knot at different ages, plus giving some advice for anyone who's single and wondering what the best timing is. Alright, so let's talk about getting married in your 20s. For some people, it can feel like the perfect time to make that commitment, and there are definitely some real perks. You're in the early stages of building your life, figuring out your career, and starting to grow as an individual. And the beauty of getting married young is that you get to do all of that together with someone. You both have so much time ahead of you, so you have the opportunity to evolve as a couple. You can grow, learn, and experience things together in a way that's unique to people who start out on the same path early on. Plus, if starting a family is on your radar, getting married in your 20s means you have more time to be with your kids while you're still young and energetic. You've got that vitality and that youthful energy, and that can make the whole parenting journey a little easier. But here's the thing, you might not fully know who you are yet. Your 20s are a time of self-discovery. You're figuring out what you love, what your goals are, and what you want out of life. You may think you know exactly what you want in a partner, but that can change as you grow. Your priorities, your ambitions, and even your values might shift a lot in your 20s. What you think is important now might look completely different in a few years. That's why it can be tricky to commit to marriage when you're still figuring all of that out. And another thing to be careful about is the pressure to settle down. Society, your family, or even your friends might make you feel like you're falling behind if you're not getting married in your 20s. But just because everyone else is getting married doesn't mean you have to follow suit. Sometimes people rush into marriage because they feel like they should, not because they've found the right person. So, while there are definitely benefits to getting married young, it's important to make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. Make sure you know who you are, what you want, and that you're ready to commit to a lifetime with the person who's truly right for you, not just because of the timing or any external pressure. Alright, moving into your 30s, a lot of people start feeling like they've got a better handle on who they are and what they want out of life, and that includes relationships. It's like the fog clears a bit, and you're more confident in your own skin. You've been through enough of life's ups and downs by now to know what works for you, what doesn't, and what you need from a partner. You've learned from your past relationships, your career ups and downs, and all those twists and turns life throws at you. You're probably also more financially stable, which is huge when it comes to building a life with someone. Plus, your career path is much clearer, and you're not as uncertain about where you're heading as you might have been in your 20s. So, by the time you hit your 30s, you've got a good mix of stability and experience, and that can make marriage feel like a really solid choice. If starting a family is something you want, your 30s are often a great time for that too. You've got the stability of a career, maybe even a home, and you're in a good place to handle the challenges of parenting. You're more likely to have the emotional maturity and resources to deal with the demands of both marriage and raising kids. And let's face it, being a parent in your 30s might just feel like the right balance. You're young enough to be active and engaged, but old enough to approach it with the right mindset. But of course, no age comes without its challenges, right? In your 30s, you've probably got a lot more clarity about what you want in a partner. Maybe even a higher standard, which can make finding someone who truly fits feel a bit harder. You've already built a life, and merging lives at this point takes a little more effort. You both have your own established routines, dreams, and commitments. So it can take time to blend those together in a way that feels natural. And if starting a family is part of your plan, you might start feeling that time pressure, especially when it comes to fertility. But remember, plenty of people have successful, healthy pregnancies in their 30s. It's just about being on the same page with your partner about what you both want for your future. So, while your 30s offer more clarity and stability, just keep in mind, That marriage and family at this age can still come with challenges. It's all about making sure you and your partner are aligned and ready for what's next. Okay, now let's talk about getting married in your 40s. For some people, this is when they finally meet the right person after years of searching. Or maybe after a divorce, they decide to take the plunge again. By the time you're in your 40s, you've got a lot more life experience, and that can be such an advantage when it comes to marriage. You've probably gone through enough ups and downs by now that you know exactly what you want from a partner and, just as importantly, what you don't want. You've learned from your past relationships, your career, and all the life lessons you've gathered along the way. There's a real sense of clarity and confidence that comes with age, and that can make for a much more solid foundation for marriage. Plus, by your 40s, you might be at the peak of your career, more financially stable, and generally feeling like you have your life together. You've probably built a solid routine, and you're in a place where you can really offer your partner stability, both financially and emotionally. You're likely more secure in who you are, which makes it easier to share your life with someone else. And let's not forget, your 40s can be a time of freedom, too. You might have fewer responsibilities weighing you down, and you're finally able to focus on building a partnership that works for both of you. But, of course, getting married in your 40s does come with a few things to consider. If you're hoping to have kids, fertility can become a bit of a challenge as you get older. For both men and women, it's something to think about, especially if you haven't had kids yet. But that doesn't mean it's impossible. Many people in their 40s have healthy pregnancies or choose other options like adoption or IVF. It's just something to be aware of and talk through with your partner. Also, if you've been married before, there could be some emotional baggage or unresolved issues from past relationships that you'll need to work through. It's not always easy, but it's possible, especially if you're both committed to building something new and healthy. It might take a little more time to work through old wounds, but that doesn't mean you can't have a strong, fulfilling marriage in your 40s. In fact, the maturity and experience you bring to the table can often make for a richer, more meaningful partnership. So, while marriage in your 40s comes with its own set of challenges, it also comes with a lot of benefits, clarity, stability, and a deeper understanding of yourself and what you truly want. It's about being ready, emotionally and practically, for what comes next. No matter when you decide to get married, whether it's in your 20s, 30s, or 40s, there are a few key tips that apply to everyone, regardless of age. First, it's so important to know yourself before you jump into marriage. Take the time to understand who you are, what you truly need, and what your goals are in life. A strong marriage is built onto people who know themselves. Because if you don't understand your own values, needs, and desires, how can you expect to share your life with someone else? Marriage isn't about finding someone to complete you. It's about to hold. People coming together to build something stronger than the sum of its parts. Next up, don't rush. Whether you're in your 20s, 30s, or 40s, don't let the pressure of society, family, or friends push you into marriage before you're truly ready. It's easy to feel like you should be at a certain place by a certain age, but marriage is not a race. There's no right timeline for anyone. You want to make sure you're choosing marriage because it's right for you, not because of external expectations. When you're thinking about getting married, look for compatibility. Chemistry is great, sure, but it's not enough to build a lasting relationship. As you get older, you realize that shared values and life goals are what really matter. You want to be with someone whose vision for the future aligns with yours. Whether it's where you want to live, how you want to spend your time, or whether you want kids, it's these deep connections that create a solid foundation. It's not about just being in love, it's about building a life together that works for both of you. And one of the biggest tips: don't settle. If you're feeling the pressure of age or time, remember, this is about finding a partner, not just a wedding date. Marriage is a big commitment, and it's something you want to do with the right person, not just because it seems like the next step. Make sure the relationship is the right fit for both of you. Take your time, trust yourself, and don't be afraid to embrace your journey. The right time to get married is when you feel ready, whether that's now or later. So, take your time, trust yourself, and don't let anyone rush you into anything. Marriage is about building a partnership that's fulfilling and meaningful for both of you at the right time. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment below. When do you think is the right time to get married?